Yeah.
Welcome back. This is Aaron Smith Can't Lose.
Wow.
Happy Friday, everybody. Oh, man. We just had some crazy snow yesterday.
Yes, a nor'easter deep in November, and the streets was fucked up. There was only streets. That was only one service road. It was only one way, two-way streets, one way. I
Mhm.
saw a picture, and I think it was around, I think downtown, well, all the cars was all over the place, and they had nowhere to go. It was really ridiculous.
Well, I don't think it's really smart to drive in the snow anyway. Some people don't have any choice. But, quite honestly, everybody got caught off guard. Someone dropped the ball. No one wants to take the blame for it. But you should be better prepared for next time because it is going to get worse. This is winter in New York City. So this is like a test run. Yeah, they messed up. They failed. They fucked up. So I hope they learn from it, honestly.
And with all the, I was driving with my dad, and over there by the toll booths, if you look to the right, they got a whole bunch of salt, like a whole big pile of rock salt. Looks like it's about 50 feet tall of rock salt, just waiting. So it's not like they didn't have the materials to be prepared for the storm. They just got caught off guard.
I think they need to fire whoever was telling them what was going to happen before, because whoever that was, that's the person that's like first in line to be like, okay, you should not, you should close the schools, make sure everything's shut down and stuff, or leave it alone. I mean, like, weather is unpredictable. You can't really see what's going to happen with that either, but you have to be better prepared. We have all these resources to, know if something's going to be as bad as it was, I don't know.
The typical day in New York. Typical New York fuck up. What else is new?
I don't know, bro. But I didn't plan on going anywhere yesterday anyway. I did all my stuff the day before the Wednesday because I had an idea, like in the back of your head, like, it's getting colder and, one day is like 40, other days like 60. So I'm like, okay, we're going to get something. And then when they said it last week, I was like, all right. Because, they didn't really say how bad it was going to be. But they said it was going to be something like that. I'm like, whatever.
When the temperatures really fluctuate up and down like that, we're dealing for a bad storm. Because, you know how it goes with tornadoes and hurricanes and storms. The hot air with the cold air, and it spins around and it becomes a fucking storm. So you know how that goes.
Well, like I said, it's a test run, and shit happens. That's what I would say. I'm like, it's not a lot of people that are bitching about it, but the only problem I had concerned of is like a friend of mine who has a child that was stuck on that bus for 8 hours. She's supposed to be calling in later and talking about it a little bit. I thought that was disgusting, especially that they were special needs children.
Oh yeah.
So, and she's gonna fill us in a little bit more about that. Hopefully, within the next couple of hours, she'll be talking.
Sued.
Oh, it's coming. There's a lot of, like I said, when you don't prepare like that and you have people in a position of power to actually get something done and be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that, then yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you should have taken care of things in the first place, then there wouldn't be no problem. But like you said, it's New York City, and that's what people do. Especially, there's other people in power that really don't give a shit.
I wonder if they're gonna blame this on De Blasio.
They
too.
already have. Like, there's this old. I don't know. Do you watch Channel 2 News?
No, I don't.
All right. There's this lady named Marsha Kramer, right? And she's a reporter on Channel 2 News. This old, bitter, angry white woman, and she happens to be married to the editor of the New York Post, who is super anti De Blasio to the core. So you already know how it is with that. So every time, like, I see her on TV, and she's always harassing him, always asking some stupid shit, and I'm like, Me personally, if I was De Blasio, I'd tell like, yo, bitch, get off my dick. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I know you don't like me.
De Blasio.
And whatever, but, you can't really do that in politics.
New York Post shits in De Blasio, dog.
I mean, look, it's better than fucking what we had, in my opinion. Fucking 12 years of fucking Bloomberg, so.
Bloomberg.
Yeah, that piece of crap.
Mm.
I mean, honestly, what really bothers me about it is that it's not like you can do everything when you first run, and when you finally get it, you maybe get half of your shit done. And because there's a lot of people that are not on your side, and there's people who are, I guess, in line with you, but they want to be ahead of you in the line as well. So I think that's his issue. I mean, he's pretty much a sitting duck right now. I mean, he's out of there in like next month, a year or two, or something like that.
Yeah, people are gonna get rid of him.
No, this is his last term, so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't really matter to him. I mean, I feel him, but to a certain point, like, that was a big fuck up. And for him not to own up to it, I think it's either, well, he's like, no matter what I say, you're not going to like it anyway, or fuck it.
Yeah, and the thing is, to my understanding, when it came to the record with Bill de Blasio, he's actually been on point with these snowstorms. Yeah. I don't recall him fucking up like this before.
Well, this Clark lady was like, oh, the first month he came in, da-da-da-da. I'm like, look, that's when you're barely getting your feet wet. And, that's, for him to get into a storm like that, I think it was warm one day, I think it was a couple years ago, and then the next day it was snowing, but during the day, but it really wasn't as bad as people thought it was. So they left the schools open, but by the time school let out, that's when it started getting crazy, and like it was getting more heavier and stuff like that. Like I said, you can't predict weather shit like that, So to put blame on him for that, nah, I don't think so.
And you can't just turn the gulls, close down the schools just on a little bit of snow, especially when you have a city that you have these trucks out here that actually can keep the roads clean. And you also have the New York City subways where, believe it or not, they're actually very good in situations like this.
They used to be, I know when you and I was going to school, they shut them down. Like, I mean, I think it's 6 inches now. Mm-hmm. That's the minimum. But, I mean, I never liked Giuliani for anything, but when he wanted to close school, he closed full school because his fat ass son was in public school too. So that's the only reason why.
Yeah, he had his son in public. It's funny, you cheap when you want to have your son in public school and not having a private school. And Rudolph Giuliani had money.
Yeah, he was always spending on Yankee tickets or trying to fuck his cousin or something like that. Didn't he marry his cousin or something like that?
Yes, he did. He married his cousin. He's a cross-dressing Oompa Loompa.
That's some weird shit, man.
Yeah, he cross-dresses and he humps his cousin.
That's some Jerry Springer shit right there,
bro. He's a fucking weirdo.
Vampire with beaver teeth. Fucking guy is crazy.
Midget Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, he looks kind of short.
He's a fucking rat. The Italians don't like him. He's a fucking rat. He ratted out all the fucking...
Isn't he Italian too?
Yeah, he's Italian. But the reason why Rudolph Giuliani came into prominence, because he put the Gottis in jail.
Oh.
A lot of people don't know that. Rudolph Giuliani is... he called them, when I was a kid, they had these wise guys in my neighborhood, and I didn't like him, so,
The Teflon Don. That's why he's returned to fame. John Gotti was a man, Mm-hmm. I gotta give it up to John Gotti. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own, to, whatever opinions and stuff like that. But this is Aaron Smith Can't Lose, and I don't give a fuck about your opinion. So, but Giuliani sucks, bro. He always has. I mean, how many mayors have we've been through our lifetime? I say maybe 2 or 3.
Mayor Dickhead. He's a Mayor Dinkins. So you had Mayor Dickhead.
And you had Giuliani.
Mayor Giuliani.
And Bloomberg.
Mayor Marco Bitchberg.
And now we have what some people call the blast hole.
The blast hole. Mayor de Blasio.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The beef between Mayor de Blasio and Andrew Cuomo is legendary, all right?
I just want to see them fight.
Let me tell you how
Wouldn't that be like a great pay per view?
No, there's something that's more petty. Something more petty.
What?
Listen,
They fuck the same girl or something?
no. It's petty and it affects New Yorkers. Yo, I was over Whitestone Bridge overhearing a conversation. Now, the speed limit for New York City is 15 miles an hour.
Over the
But
bridge.
the speed, just on the highways.
Okay.
But the speed limit for New York State is 55 miles per hour. So what they do is they have New York State police officers in the Whitestone Bridge in certain areas. And if you go 5 miles under the speed limit, they stop you.
And they give you a ticket.
Exactly.
That's
And-
like a big money making scheme then.
Yeah, but Andrew Cuomo's doing that shit on purpose to fuck with Mayor Bill de Blasio.
Like I said,
They don't
you
like
know,
each other.
that's really sad because you could do a lot more with your life than do petty stuff, especially when you're in a position of power. But you know, this is what motherfuckers do. And quite honestly, if they were to fight, I think de Blasio got the reach advantage definitely. But you know, Andrew's a scrappy fellow, so I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you know, Bill de Blasio likes himself some chocolate. You know, you got that black woman who used to be a lesbian.
Yeah. Put the de Blasio on her.
the Blas that pussy.
Right.
The Mayor de Blas that pussy.
I guess speaking of pettiness, you know, there's a lot of that shit in the comedy business for sure.
Yes.
And you know, I just like I was starting a conversation with my girlfriend earlier, and she's like, "Oh, when you gonna start doing stand up again?" I say, really honestly, I don't know, because it comes to the point where, like, you know, my mental state of mind is more important than dealing with bullshit, and the less bullshit I deal with, it's the better. I still love to make people laugh. I still love to entertain. But as for right now, excuse me, that's a good beer. That I'm just not really into it right now.
Yeah, you know, you get in these ruts. I understand what you're saying. I can't go through the comedy clubs right now because I'm broke and I'm out of work and I need to get my personal life into a good situation before I go back out. But once I go back out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in contact with not a booker. No, I'm not gonna deal with a booker.
We don't want to deal with a mid-level comedian.
Yeah, I'm gonna become the mid-level comedian. I've been in there for 5 fucking years. I think it's time.
You might as well. I mean,
so I'm gonna call. I'm not gonna say who I'm gonna call on the air, but I'm gonna call somebody and I'm gonna do some comedy shows, and it's not gonna be a ringer show. When I get back to work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give 5 of the comedians $50 for coming. Just paid them. And I'm going to try to put people in the seats my goddamn selves. I'm going to try Groupon. I'm going to try all types of shit.
You got to do whatever you can to get, you know, by. You know, and, you know, like I said, life is more important than, like, comedy will always be here, you know. I mean, the people may change, faces may change, but it'll always be here. That's how I feel. So, like, I wish you luck on that, and hope that all goes well. But as for me, this podcast is cool for right now. I'm enjoying myself, having a good time. It's a lot less bullshit, and it's just you and me having a conversation, and that's fine for me for right now. Honestly, I mean, I'm not really trying to really fuck with a lot of motherfuckers, especially now for, you know, the simple fact of, like, you know, you're an adult and you're acting like a little kid, and I ain't got time for that shit. I just don't.
Yeah, well, you know, you're dealing with personalities, and there's a lot of people that's sensitive out here.
I understand that, but if you're a comedian and you can't take a joke, you need to go find a fucking new business. May I suggest goat herding?
Goat.
Maybe I don't know. Give me a bullshit job.
Goat herding.
Flipping, I don't know, McDonald's.
McDonald's.
But you have to have a personality there too.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, you gotta really put like a fake smile on and deal with all these some of them bitches that come through every day and talk about with my Big Mac and fries. You nasty bastard, like, you know.
Yeah, nasty motherfuckers, bitches that got some stink ass attitudes. But
yeah,
hey,
I've not met. Like I said, well, where I live in Upper Manhattan, you know. Them chicks is bad out there in McDonald's. They alright, you know. Something to look at, something to eat at, you know. That's to say, but you know, I know there's a couple of places, especially like maybe a couple urban areas where you got, you know, these rather handsome women
Ugh.
working behind the counters and stuff.
Listen, long as they
Some just
show-
hilarious looking.
Hey, Just Hilarious is cute on the low. I like Just Hilarious. She got some big ass lips, nigga.
That's about it.
Yeah, I like her. She funny though. She
Oh
puts
yeah,
in the
yeah.
work.
Big shout out to her. She, but
She
you
puts
know,
in the work. I like
and,
Just Hilarious.
like I don't want to come off like I'm hating everything on.
She's
stuff
a
like that.
great comedian,
That's
and,
not-
and the funny thing is she don't give a fuck. You saw when she went after Corey Holcomb. I thought that was very brave of her.
Oh, that house nigga.
I like Corey Holcomb. Chill. Why do you think he's a house nigga?
In my opinion, it's kind of not really for me. Okay, I take that back. Okay, maybe in between the house, in between the field, got playing both sides. I don't know.
Why do you think he's playing both sides?
I mean, you have to at certain times in this game, but don't let it be known. Like there's like a lot of things that I tell people. I said, I may not like you, but if you're funny, I'll work with you. And unfortunately, the people that I don't like, in my opinion, are not really my type of humor. But if you sell and you making money, hey, let's do it.
I like the dude stand-ups, but I like the dude stand-ups. I love how he be going in on these bitches. I love it. That's fun. Corey Holcomb, he be going in on. Have you seen his stand-ups? Holy shit, he be going in on these bitches. But that's interesting. Let's compare comedic taste. Who's your favorite comedian?
Ain't nobody right now. Me.
That's funny. You.
I mean, like, I consider this Me Too era crap and this sensitive stuff going on where you have these people who are so scared to say how they really feel, and they just do the hack jobs, the Trump jokes, and all that bullshit. And I mean, politicians have been made fun of for forever. But like when you have this clown in your face every day, and I mean, literally every day he's on the fucking news. I mean, he can't wipe his ass off his left hand without somebody knowing it. And
he's
like
the president.
Unfortunately. But the thing is that it gets tiring and it gets annoying. Even when they were joking about Obama, I got tired of it. Because realistically, but the flip side of that is that Obama can take a joke, Trump can't. So it's an issue that goes back to comics about them, getting sense to getting mad on social media and shit like that. And I'm like, listen, social media is bullshit anyway. We all know that. It's just there to get either, entertain yourself, try to promote yourself, or or just fucking around. So for you to get mad about a meme that I posted or something like that, I'm like, it's a very simple issue. It's not even an issue, I should say. It's something very easy you can do. It's called the block button. It's called, I don't want to see that shit. And quite honestly, like that.
But to get in the outrage and get people together to
Yeah,
shut them down
and run their mouth online and talk shit.
and cancel people's careers, but
And then
that's lets you know that they're not going to get far in stand-up comedy,
And
because
if
they do that to somebody powerful, they're not going to make it into stand.
that's why they don't choose to do it to anybody powerful, because they know that their career is over.
No, they do that online on the internet. Everybody thinks that they can do that. I've seen it all the time. Like,
All right?
oh yeah,
Give me an example.
All right, Louis C.K.
Oh,
Okay,
that motherfucker.
yeah, 3 months before Louis C. Like I say, 6 to 3 months before Louis C.K. that thing came out, all of these mid-level female comedians was talking shit about him, and I was like, yo, I'm like this. Don't you understand that this guy is powerful?
Right.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like my favorite comedian is Patrice O'Neal.
Right.
And the reason why Patrice O'Neal's my favorite comedian is not only because he's funny, because he really understands the business of Hollywood. He had this theory called Belly of the Beast. Like, basically, there's some horrible, terrible people in Hollywood, but nobody says anything about them because they're too powerful. And the only reason they allowed to talk about a certain individual is they have to have permission. Like, for example, President Trump. The reason why comedians are able to hack it up. Now, I don't like President Trump, but the reason why stand-up comedians are able to be hacks and lean on Trump jokes is because they're getting
Got a
permission.
phone call? All right. Yeah, we'll get back into that. Hello, you're in the air. Huh? What the fuck? Okay. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's all right, though. Hello, you're in the air. Hello.
Is it me you're looking for?
No? Yes, no, maybe so? Oh, maybe they'll call back. Oh, okay. So, go back to what you were talking about.
Yeah, the only reason why people are hacking it up with the damn Trump jokes is because they're getting permission by these ultra fake woke liberal comedians. Like this entertainment industry, they're giving you the green light. But let me give you somebody on Saturday Night Live, a writer, took a Trump joke too far and talked about his son, and she got fired.
Well, there is unfortunately that line, and there's nothing you can do about it. But that's the issue that I have. Like, who should determine what's funny? It doesn't matter. You know, like I said, there's so many like genres. There's so many like subgenres of comedy, what I don't agree with, but somebody else might, and it'll be funny and it sells. So why the fuck not? You know, but unfortunately, like in this time, and people are sensitive, people are getting really soft, and I mean that energy should be used somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like if you don't like it, then just turn the fuck off. But I'm offended. I want to say something on like Twitter or social media stuff like that because they won't say it in their face because they want to avoid conflict because most of the time they probably can't fight and shit. You know.
Yeah, but that's how it is, man. I don't know.
People are just too damn soft. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, everybody lives once in their lifetime. So, like I said, if it's not too risky, then why not? Just go for it.
Yeah, and I think that I've been creating material based on my weight and just based on other things other than politics.
All right, we're going to get back to that. Sorry, Jeffrey. We're going to get back to that. And do we have our caller now? Hello.
Hey there.
Hey, Dave Stern, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, buddy? Long time no see.
How is
How am
everybody?
Well,
I have some amazing feedback going on here, but that's cool. That's cool. I'll figure it out. What's happening with everybody down there?
Well, we're digging out from the storm. I don't know. Did you guys? Well, obviously you're on the East Coast, so how's it up there?
Well, it depends. If south of Boston, it wasn't bad. I think we got about 3 inches down here, and by the time I woke up this morning, it was pretty much melted away. But they're still having problems up in the northern part of the state, and of course, New Hampshire. They're 8-10 inches up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's sanitation. Everybody's on point because obviously they fucked up here real bad.
Mm-hmm. Did they?
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, we were talking about it earlier. I don't know if you were watching, but the thing is that someone dropped the ball and no one wants to take the blame, and they basically let everything. It was open, and they kept everything open as well. And the problem is that maybe they should have closed everything, as a precaution. But, it's very hard to do certain things like that now in the city because I think it's like, 6 inches, like I said, to close down like schools and stuff out here in the city.
6 inches.
Oh, yeah.
But,
you know what happens up here? Everybody on they have so much weather on the TV up here that everybody knew what was happening. If they didn't, all they had to do is turn the TV on. If you watch the TV around here, I don't know about New York City, but in Boston, what happens is they say top stories, and now we go to the weather guy. The weather guy does a minute. About 3 minutes later, the weather guy does about 2 minutes. About 15 minutes later, the weather guy does about 5 minutes, like he's teaching a frickin' class. And this is, they have a 2 or a 3 hour newscast in the afternoon. This is every newscast.
Right.
So if you didn't know it was going to snow and to take precautions and, not go out in it, well, you're stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. Stupid. If it was a crime, quite honestly, a lot of people get the electric chair. But anyway, the thing is that we knew. Everybody knew,
Yeah.
even the people in power
Yeah.
knew, and they still did nothing. And a lot of people got pissed off. And like I said, I have a friend calling it after you, and she had a child who his special needs, and they were stuck on a bus for 8 hours in the snow. Like, what the fuck?
Holy mackerel!
You know?
Yeah, you hear stories like that. And you know, it's like, what's going on?
I mean, like, why am my tax dollars going for this shit? Like, you know,
Yeah.
You beg me every November to put your ass in, and next thing you know, you're fucking up again. Like, what the fuck? Like I said, I get it. I get it. Like, I understand. Things happen.
It's your tax dollars at work, dude. It's your tax dollars at work.
I mean, like, you can't control the weather, like I said earlier, but like, you can better prepare. Like, whoever gave him the mayor and the governor their advice for the days before, they need to fire that motherfucker, because that's the person that's probably the point person, whoever that what exactly is going on, what's going to happen. That person should be thrown under the bus.
Absolutely, I'm with you there. It's everybody hates government, and look at the mess we've got ourselves into in Washington and all over the place because everybody hates government. It's just a fine kettle of fish. You know what I mean?
I hear you. Mm-hmm. Well, I know I follow you on Facebook, and I've done a couple of shows with you. I know you're not a fan of our lovely orange president. So
the orange-haired Cheeto, that motherfucker. Yeah, I don't like that son of a bitch at all.
I mean, outside the norm of what everyone tells me, what exactly is it that you don't like about President Trump?
What don't I like about him?
I know the common reasons why, but what are your personal reasons for you why you don't like Mr. Trump?
Well, beyond the fact that he's a racist, he's a fucking Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
He may not have an armband, and he may not attend meetings, but I don't care what he says. His son-in-law is Jewish. Well, his son-in-law is kind of stupid to start with. These people, I don't have anything against stupid people. I know plenty of stupid people, and they're fine.
Most of them work in the comedy business.
Hello. Oh, man. Don't get me started.
Oh, please do. Let's talk about. We'll get to that after Trump. So, like I said, I personally, I don't like him either. But I'm like, and I do understand. Like, he's one of those closet racists, but it's still out there because he has that platform. But I've been telling people, ever since I started this show, I'm from New York City. I knew Trump was an ass before he was president. Yeah, I mean, like, he's been like this forever, and people should understand that this is nothing new. He's just live and in HD now. That's the problem.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
Going back to the Central Park 5. Go ahead.
And he's such a liar. And in today's world, you can check on his lies almost immediately. All you have to do is look at his tweets and then say, "That's not true." Come on.
Who's feeding him that bullshit?
He's like the little kid that cried wolf. Sooner or later, people, they don't. I would like people to start ignoring him. The only way that he's ever going to sort of go away is if we just ignore him.
That's what I've been preaching.
It's not going to happen.
It's not, because, like I said, every 2 minutes is about him. And no matter, you could turn off all the like, Jeffrey, you can agree with me if you want. I mean, it's like every channel, every radio station, everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter. You even if you like do little alerts on your phone. Oh, like Trump jerked off with his right hand, not with his left. More than 11. Like, what the fuck? I mean, like, like, for people like that, to really up his butt like that. What an asshole he is. What kind of person he is. And like I said, I've been telling people this for a minute. I said, wait on Robert Mueller. It's coming. It may not be coming the way you want it, the timing you want it, but Robert Mueller is a very intelligent man, and he knows exactly what he's doing, and he's going to get the job done. Even if they try to get rid of him, he's still going to find a way to make sure that asshole is going to get what's coming to him.
Yeah.
That's my personal
opinion.
opinion.
I agree with you 100%.
I mean,
I absolutely agree. That's going to come down, and I think that Mueller is smart enough to have immunized himself. And by that I mean he knows sooner or later that Sessions was going to get fired, and that
he had to go back
Trump
to the Keebler Elf tree. And they make those cookies.
Sooner or later, Sessions was going to get fired, and Trump was going to put some flunky in his place, and that's happened. And I'm sure that Mueller has prepared for the day. My guess is give him a little while, maybe another month or so, and all of a sudden the indictments will start coming down for that orange-haired son of a bitch.
I would like that to happen on January 1st. That'd be great. I'm like, Happy New Year, you motherfucker.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely. Plus which the new Congress goes into session around, I think it's the 5th of January. So all
Possibly,
of a sudden there will be Democrats controlling the House. That's who impeaches. The Senate tries. I doubt if they could get a conviction in the Senate, but at least we could impeach the son of a bitch and lay out the evidence so that the people can see and decide. Because we got another important election in 2 years.
Correct. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Like I said, Dave, you're one of the more genuine people in comedy, and I thank you for coming on the show. And the thing is that, I tell people like this. I said, okay, the Dems won the House. Congratulations. That's the first step. I tell them, I said, what you have to do is go on that momentum and build on that momentum, but don't get cocky. Don't get cocky because, like I said, there's a lot of morons out there, especially those Trump people, that will reelect this son of a bitch.
Right.
Right,
I agree.
And they have contingencies for stuff like that. And we know that Trump is in Putin's back pocket. So we gotta make sure all things in order and stuff like that, and bring a candidate that actually can whip this motherfucker.
I agree with you there. And my fear right now, over the short term, over the next few weeks or in the next couple of months, is that the Democrats are going to shoot themselves in the foot because there's nobody running against Nancy Pelosi for Speaker.
Oh, God. I was going to talk about that. Jeffrey we're going to talk to him about that as well. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, okay, you got all this momentum. You changed the House. You got it back. And you bring in this Crypt Keeper looking bitch again? Like, what the fuck? Like she's a real dingbat. Like, I don't seem to understand why the fuck they would reelect Nancy Pelosi back as House Speaker.
Neither do I. And I think that's part and parcel of what all of the people have been objecting about over the past few years, because not only is the Republican Party racist and corrupt, but the Democratic Party, it's not racist and corrupt, but the Democratic Party is as bad as the Republican parties in many of the same ways. And what I'd like to see is some kind of a third party arise that is sane, because these people are crazy.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I would like that too, but we do live in a two-party bully system, and that's never going to happen.
Two-party bully system.
I mean, they're like the Crips and the Bloods. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, it's going to be one or the other. I mean, you're not going to have a third-party candidate that is strong. Like I said, you had the Ralph Nader pretty much fucked Al Gore. We know that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So we don't want another situation like that. I personally don't. But, for someone to cross over like Bernie Sanders did and to run this Democratic line, and quite honestly, I've said this 100,000 times, Bernie Sanders would have whooped Trump's ass compared to what Hillary did.
Absolutely.
But they had to go for the stagnant candidate, which is perfectly fine. But the way they went down with it was like, total shit.
Mm-hmm. I agree. As a matter of fact, I was early in on the Bernie Sanders campaign, and I saw the enthusiasm that he brought, and I didn't care. Some people did, but I didn't care that he was like 75 years old then and Jewish. There are some people who do, as you can see now with the Trump's America. I didn't think from the get-go that the Democrats were going to give Bernie Sanders, their nomination. And
of course not. That wasn't going to happen.
We saw what happened.
That wasn't going to happen. Like, he had all these radical ideas, quote unquote, and they didn't go with the status quo. And like I said, they went with Hillary. And like, I never understand it why the White House always had to be handed down like a title, like a crown between the Clintons and Bushes for like forever. You know, I mean, like enough is enough already with that shit. And I've said it forever. Like I've said it. I think I also was talking about it that night, the election night. I was like, he's going to win, and no one believed me. No one believed me. I was like, trust me. You're like I said, people are that stupid.
It was amazing. I was at a show, and everybody had such high hopes that, you know, the Democrats were going to sweep in and all this and all that. And so I'm at the show, and I'm doing my deal, and I sit down afterwards, and the results start coming in. And by the time, like, 10:30 rolled around, nobody was laughing. It was one of the saddest nights. And I'm old enough to remember, you know, when Ronald Reagan was elected.
Man. Remember him?
And
well,
oh man,
he was a shitty actor too.
And here's something else, though, guys. Here's something else. They're saying that Hillary Clinton is thinking of running again.
Why?
Holy,
No.
Yeah, I agree with you. No way. Shoot her now. Get her out of the way. Do something.
You know,
we can't have 4 more years of Trump after that. Oh, it's terrible.
If she runs again and she gets a nomination again, she definitely will lose again. But Jeffrey, you were saying
I rarely agree with Meghan McCain, but Meghan McCain was on The View, and she said Hillary is the gift that keeps on giving for Republicans. She just fucks it up every
big
time.
time.
Absolutely.
You
are right. She was right. Absolutely.
For sure. Definitely for sure. Well, that was interesting. So, David, you got any shows coming up?
Yes, sir. Actually, I've been taking some time off. I took a little bit of time off, and I will be doing one at the Winner's Circle, which is in Salisbury, Massachusetts, almost in New Hampshire. I'll be going there sometime before Christmas. I have a specific Christmas song that I like to sing. I tell them that I sing this to my grandchildren. I've got some little grandchildren. I sing it every year. And I'll do just one verse real quick right now.
Sure, let's hear it.
Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not shout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is dead. Yep. I have about 4 or 5 more verses to that. I won't bore you with them, but it usually goes over pretty well.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I mean, I think I saw a meme a while ago where it was a child crying. And it was the tombstone of Santa Claus. I was in tears. Like I thought that was I was fucked up, but funny fucked up, hilarious. But thank you for coming on. I appreciate you for calling in. Dave Stern, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely have to come out there and do some comedy because New York City's kind of drying up for me just a little bit. But we'll touch base.
Thank you very much for having me on, Aaron Smith. I remember meeting you and seeing you perform at Dangerfields one time. I thought you were great then, and I see what you post, and I think that you're great now. So thanks for having me on.
I appreciate it. David Stern, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back to talk with Michelle Stanchester-Heem. She is the CEO and founder of Spectrum Warriors. This is FLO Network. Aaron Smith Can't Lose.
Take care.
We'll be right back.
Have you ever heard the engine of the ghost running? If you say you mine, nigga, let me hold something. Real recognize real, they be no frontin'. Put that money where your mouth is, that's stunning. Have you ever heard the engine of the ghost running? If you say you mine, nigga, let me hold something. Real recognize real, they be no frontin'. Put that money where your mouth is, that's stunning. Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you ever heard the engine of the ghost running? So close to the money, I can see it coming. Watch me make it squirt, wet like vaginas. No co-signers, big like designers. My fashion all black, rockin' camo. Black Timberlands, I call Timbos. If I wish a nigga dead, that's revenge though. Screw the silence on tight and watch his melon blow. I got demons of my own, my shit be suicidal. Mama friend's son killed himself with the rifle. If you don't believe me, I swear right hand on the Bible. My life changed for the better, they gon' say it's worse. Cause I ain't outside banging out there putting work. When niggas outside dying trying to move that work. How can I wish 100 goons to really pray for me? When living out there in them trenches is like slavery. Father forgive me, death the haters, leave them 6 feet. Have you ever heard the engine of the ghost running? If you say you mine, nigga, let me hold something. Real recognize real, they be no frontin'. Put that money where your mouth is, that's stuntin'. Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you ever heard the engine of the ghost running? My life changed for the better, they gon' say it's worse. Cause I ain't outside banging out there putting work. I had to bring that part back just to remind myself. My cousin died, I left shorty. Am I myself? I found myself by myself even though I'm taken. Liam Nilsson working hard like a Jamaican. 2 babies, I am the father, where's the bacon? 2 80s, fully loaded, keep noted. Any given day reloaded, burn notice. Luxury items, I fantasize, big lotus. 4-door, British, European, just dreaming shit. Crib so big, I need an island, overseas and shit. Drop top roof in my kitchen, iced tea and shit. Stars lit up in the ghost, you not seeing shit. Toast all over the butter, obese and shit. You come talking that gutter, watch my pieces hit. Have you ever heard the engine of the ghost running? If you say you mine, nigga, let me hold something. Real recognize real, they be no frontin'. Put that money where your mouth is, that's stuntin'. Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you ever heard the engine of the ghost run? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you ever heard the engine of the ghost running? Have you ever heard the engine of the ghost running? If you say you mine, nigga, let me hold something. Real recognize real, they be no frontin'. Put that money where your mouth is, that's stuff. Let's go.
Michelle, are you there?
Yeah.
I am. Hi.
Hey, sweetheart, how are you?
Frustrated, I'm sure you can understand.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little
so
earlier.
we hear. I want to hear this story.
Michelle Sanchez-Terhiem, did I say that right?
Sturheim, yeah.
Sturheim,
it's a foster parent thing.
All right. Well, I know you as my twin, so, you know, everything I've done, you've done better. So anyway,
so in that sense, you know that a lot of people are about to lose their jobs, right?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I was telling
fuck?
everybody earlier, and Jeffrey, that you have a son, and he's of special needs, and he was on that
He's
bus.
autistic.
Yes.
And he got on his bus yesterday at 2:40. And by 8 p.m., I was walking to go get him. By the time I got to him, by the time he got home, it was a mess. It was a mess. And there are families that I had contacting me that their children didn't get home until after midnight. It's disgusting. I am pissed off with the Office of Pupil Transportation. I am pissed off with the bus companies and Department of State. I mean, come on, we have a whole city. There are how many agencies involved? They knew it was coming, and yet they still left our city crippled.
Yeah, that was a big fuck up. We were talking about that earlier. I mean, no one really wanted to take the blame for it, and that really like kind of irritates me, especially for that vulnerable like population, especially like in that like no one should have been out there, quite honestly, because I'm looking outside my window, going around like around 12 o'clock like in the afternoon, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, okay, personally, I'd have been like, you know what? Hey, let's wrap this up. We're gonna call this a half day. I mean, honestly, I saw what I would have did, but You know, like I said, I brought you on to talk about this and to express your frustrations about it. So please take the mic.
Well, thank goodness that my son has a transportation para. Not every
Yeah.
child does.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, yesterday he was the only child on his bus who had a transportation para. And I'm just going to take a minute to talk about Isaiah. He is a blessing. Shame on the bus driver and the matron for speaking to him the way they did.
Why don't you talk about that? Tell us people exactly what exactly went down and what they had said to Mr. Isaiah, who was obviously a stand-up guy.
I'm not going to repeat the language that was used. I'm really not, because it pissed me off.
I mean, we don't have to necessarily
aside
go
from
there.
the fact that he is a para who happens to be a man, they had an attitude about that. They had an attitude about the fact that he's a black man. And, you know, shame on them. You're Dominican. Like, come on. We're all supposed to be for each other.
Right.
Not, you know, when they started getting nasty with him. Actually, the only reason why I heard everything was because he called me on his cell phone so I could talk to my son.
Right.
So my son could hear my voice and start calming down. And I hear all this nastiness going on. I hear there was a child there that I could hear her banging her head.
What, on the
on
the bus,
yeah,
on the window?
After 4+ hours on a bus, you have autistic children. What do you think is going to happen?
Triggers.
Exactly.
Quote,
We had children who had to use the bathroom.
quote unquote
they were being
behaviors,
denied
whatever
using the
have you.
bathroom. They were hungry. There were children who are on set time schedules for medications. We have children who have seizures and other issues.
Yeah.
Everything was just mishandled, and every time I called OPT, I get some generic, "Oh, your child will be home in 30 minutes." No, they won't. Stop lying to families.
Yeah, that's basically a cop out. That's what it sounds like. Like I said, earlier, no one really wanted to take the blame. I was watching news. Mayor De Blasio didn't want to take the blame. Governor Cuomo didn't want to take the blame. The only one person that honestly thought that he was sorry or felt sorry was Corey Johnson, who was the city council speaker or whatever the fuck have you. I'm not really into names and stuff like that. But this is wrong. This is completely wrong. And like I hope everybody learns from this. That those positions of power, that this shit can happen again.
No, it can't. It should have never happened. And, you know, I have 2 autistic children. It just so happens that my younger one, she goes to public school, public elementary, so she had half a day.
Right.
So she was home early. But had she not had half a day, how the hell was I supposed to be in 2 places to pick up my children?
There's no way.
And again, Office of Pupil Transportation, shame on them. All the bus companies, they knew this was coming. Why are they sending out buses that are breaking down every 5 minutes?
That's
They're
what I'm
giving
saying.
them
Understand.
tires that have no traction.
There has to be a line where that stuff shit has to stop. You know, I mean, you know, all these resources, all these things that people have. I don't seem to understand why the government and the people that are supposed to be in charge of this shit fucked up so bad yesterday. You know, like
Aaron, it was heartbreaking hearing all these children screaming and crying for their mom, and hearing the driver yelling at them to be quiet, the matron yelling at them to be quiet. How dare you? And it's not like it was a mixed bus. They knew that these children came from a specialized school just for autistic children.
Right.
Yeah, these bus drivers are not trained to deal with autistic kids. That's the problem.
My thing is
And
this.
thank God that my son's para was there, because he was taking care of my son and trying to take care of every other child there.
Well, big shout out to Mr. Isaiah for, you know,
Yes,
bless
yes,
out,
yes, a blessing.
taking the initiative and, you know, making sure everything is everything, because obviously the bus driver and the matron were not. And if you're not
trained,
if you don't have that, you know, kind of facade that, you know, obviously that they did yesterday, and you shouldn't be working with kids. You shouldn't be working around people.
Turn your happy butt around. Go flip burgers in the back of a joint somewhere.
Basically,
where you don't have to deal with anybody.
I wouldn't even trust them with that, because they might fuck up that.
They might spit in it.
I mean, quite honestly, what they need to do is, I don't know, be head scout for the Yankees or some shit. They'll be all right with that shit. You
Clean
know,
some toilets.
right? Can't fuck that up. All you doing is put some.
Well, you can, but
who fucks up cleaning a toilet? I mean, I use, you know, Mr. Bubble or whatever the fuck that shit is, Scrubbing Bubble shit, and you put it in there. You know, get the
Scrubbing
brush.
bubbles?
Yeah, you put that
I
in.
like to,
You
you know
let it
what?
sit for a couple minutes, and you scrub it all out. But anyway,
I've seen people use the mop that they use on the floor
that's
and
ghetto.
take it to the toilet.
That's really ghetto.
And that's probably what these ladies would do, to be perfectly honest. It, like I said, it was just a bad scene all the way around. And then when they found out that I was en route to go get my child, again, this man, he had like 3% battery left on his phone. He's trying to stay on the phone with me to give me directions of where I'm going. And they try to kick him and my child off the bus. Oh, the mom is coming. You can get off. No, you can't. That's not legal.
Yeah, they was trying to cover their ass. That's all it was. And you can't do that. You fucked up, you fucked up. I mean, come on. Like I said, it's bad enough they're out there for all these hours anyway. And these children are probably frightened, probably cold, scared, you're hungry, or have you all that. Like, come on, man.
Well, picture yourself. How would you feel being stuck on a bus? Bus ain't moving. I mean, it took them over 4 hours to get to 72nd Street
That's
from
ridiculous.
Eastside Midtown.
That's ridiculous.
Listen, a person who is not on the spectrum, who's a regular run-of-the-mill child, is going to act up on a bus they've been on
Basically.
for 8 hours.
And like,
So what
like
do you think is going to
I
happen
know,
to somebody's autism?
like my grandmother tried to get me to go Amtrak to Florida. That's 18 hours. Hell fucking no. And that's when you get everything. You get food. You get all that stuff. I'm sorry. I need to stretch out.
Oh, no.
I need to smoke a
even
joint.
If they have a snack, they're
Fuck
not allowed
that.
to be on the bus. How about that?
No snacks.
How about that? Let's discuss that. They're
Please
on the
do.
bus. Some of these children have snacks in their book bags, and they're not allowed to eat it.
Well, that would have like at least calmed them for a little bit. Like, I don't understand what the problem was with that. But you get these people who get these little jobs, and they think they some kind of whatever have you, and they think they all big bad and shit. And like I said, they're gonna be bad.
And they think that nothing can happen to them. They
Well-
think that they're untouchable.
Well, we know
and
that's-
you know what? I don't care how many years you have on a job. Now, I have advised Manhattan Field Office. I have advised OPT. I went and I contacted the man who owns the company of the bus that my son was on, not only on behalf of my child, but all those. How dare you? You're screaming at them to be quiet. You're yelling at my child's para, who's telling you. He's pleading with them. Miss, please. Miss, they're autistic. Don't you understand? They're autistic. They have no control over this behavior. This is all triggering for them. Miss, please.
Like, I hate to understand what would have happened if he wasn't there. It would have been a lot worse.
Exactly.
I mean-
and none of the parents would know.
Exactly.
Nobody would know.
Nobody would know shit because apparently that patron and that bus driver who, Jeffrey, that's my douche and dickhead of the week.
Correct.
We don't have to even wait till the end of the month, end of the session. I mean, I haven't done that in a couple of weeks, but like you take this job, you deal with children, and you're dealing with children who are autistic, and the problem that takes a little bit more special care. I mean, you shouldn't have if you're just doing that for a paycheck, then you're in the wrong field. That's personal.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
And that's my issue I have with a lot of people. I understand you have to get paid, you have to make bills and all that stuff. Well, find yourself a career that you're comfortable in, and that you don't have to be in this situation where, like I said, these children can be better taken care of if somebody actually gives a shit. So that's my
Someone
personal
like
issue.
the para.
Exactly.
Isaiah.
So I know you. I've known you a long time. I'm pretty sure heads will definitely roll on this one.
Well, yeah, you remember what happened to my daughter's bus driver from earlier this year. She no longer has a job, and she had 15 years on her job.
All right. Have you contacted any local media or any type of
I have. You know me.
I definitely.
You know me. I've contacted everybody, including newspapers and everything.
Definitely.
If they call Channel 11,
if you need
CW?
if you need this video, you will definitely have that for you. If you need anybody, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, anybody that's been sharing this, anybody that's watching, please share this video. We need to get this word out that these two people need to be let go. They gotta go. Something has to happen because, quite honestly, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. And this is obviously really disgusting. And like I said, if there was somebody else's child, if there was somebody else's kid, if there was their kid,
the blame as well.
Remind me what OBT is again?
The Office of Pupil Transportation.
Oh, OPT. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. And what is their job?
They're the ones who route the children on the buses. They're the ones who parents had to contact to find out where their children were. And I am not the only mother who received your child's going to be home in 30 minutes. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's probably like, the automated stuff that,
I
said,
have a friend who has a brother who's autistic, and he had to get a certain medication at 5:30. He didn't get home until after 8.
I mean, something would happen to that child. There'd definitely been a lawsuit. Like, people don't think about that. I mean, this is disgusting. Like, we definitely have to get the
really
word out.
is.
Get the word out. And
everybody across the board is holding that bowl of accountability.
Everybody needs to be held accountable
they all
within
need
that.
to be held accountable.
From the bottom up, definitely. It started with those two people in that bus, and work our way up. Because like I said, it was a shitty night, and no one should have been out there, especially little kids.
And I want to point out that a lot of times the public will turn and say a woman is better equipped. Well, you know what? A woman isn't always better equipped. In this case, it was a man.
I mean, you're absolutely right. And I just don't seem to understand people's logic in these situations, or lack thereof. And the problem I have is that, it comes to that argument again where, why the fuck do you have this job if you don't give a shit? And my issue with that is like I said, this should have never happened. This day shouldn't have happened. And everybody should have been home nice and warm. But unfortunately, whoever...
And comfortable and fed.
Exactly. Whoever was, like I said, whoever was giving advice to these people, like the mayor, the governor, whoever the fuck, like, that person needs to get their ass whipped.
Well, Aaron, you know what? We live in the same neighborhood.
Or at least fired or some
Avenue,
shit.
And 7th, nobody was moving. Everything was at a standstill. I saw people getting out and, like, just abandoning their cars. I was
see that too.
To get to my child.
I couldn't even go to the store next door. I almost busted my ass on the stairs. So I definitely know where you're coming from. Like I said, my intention was not to go out that day. And I advised everybody that I knew not to go out that day. But unfortunately, there's some things that we have no control over and stuff like that. But the people who are in control of things like, shutting down the schools and make sure everything's everything and all that stuff, that could have been avoided. Like I said.
And I want to know what the chancellor has to say about this.
Well,
that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting because even with transportation paras, there are people who are being allowed to be transportation paras who are abusive to the children. And the kids can't go to school if their paras there because legally they can't get on their bus. It's just a mess all the way around. I am fed up. I am fed up and hurt and disgusted watching not only my child, my children, but the children whose families I work with. I mean, I had a mom whose child didn't get home until after midnight.
That's too late, especially even for a child of just basically the normal, spectrum.
A neurotypical child, exactly.
And
so,
but
I don't even.
I don't know the term. I don't want to be, like that, because I think, I don't like to put labels on people. But the thing is that, no child, especially a child of special needs or an autistic child, should be out in that situation. No kid, period. So, like, someone needs to, like, get the shaft, like, definitely, because, I mean, you, like, not only did you drop the ball, you let it roll down the street into the river. So, it's just really fucked up. Like I said, I'm really sorry that you as a parent and all other parents had to go through that, but I'm glad that someone was there to actually try to help.
Thankfully, I was able to get to my child walking, but what about those parents who couldn't?
That's the issue I have. Like, there need to be contingency plans in order for stuff like this. And like I said, this should have never happened. But if it does happen, because stupid is as stupid does, like Forrest Gump used to say. So we have to have contingency plans in case ignorance comes about itself, because stupid stuff happens every day, but extreme stupid stuff happened yesterday, and that's my issue that I have.
Exactly.
I don't seem to understand Like someone needs to have a role with that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know somebody or you are a parent or you are a family of these people, please definitely contact. Could contact me. I can definitely get in touch with Michelle, and we definitely can like make sure that something happens about this for sure.
Exactly.
I mean, this is
Together we're stronger.
this is absolutely absurd. I'm awfully disgusted. Jeffrey, I got no words, bro.
I mean, all of them should be fired. The school chancellor should be schooled, should be sued. And that traveling para that was actually helping you out, your child out. He's
Isaiah.
God. Yeah, Isaiah. He comes from God. God bless him. And I just wish that it's sad to hear it because I got family members that's also struggle with developmental disabilities, and I hate to hear that one of my family members is being abused by a para or something like that.
Well, thank God that didn't happen on that bus.
Not yesterday, not at all. He wasn't having none of that.
Oh, I got a story to tell you after we have a conversation, after we done talking, because I got a good story when it comes to somebody that's worked with developmental disabilities.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, you know, I don't know a lot of people know this about me, but Michelle, you know this about me, that I suffer from mental illness. You wouldn't know that if you had seen me. Well, maybe you probably did. But anyway.
Well, you know what?
But
Does it have a look? Really?
it really
I mean,
doesn't.
we could get into a long, extensive conversation about that.
Well, that's the problem I have with people as well. Is like, you know, you don't have to look crazy to be crazy. And I think honestly, everyone has a mental illness, whether it's diagnosed or not. I think that's just my personal opinion. But like I said, you know, these people need some extra helping hands, and not to be shunned away or thrown away or stuff like that. But that's another conversation for another time. So, like I said, we definitely need to get on top of that. I definitely, you know, will touch base with you. Actually kind of mad that I have to leave next week, but you know, I do have to, you know, see my family and, you know, enjoy myself and stuff like that.
Time.
So, but I will definitely be back the week after next. And like I got a cell phone and all that other stuff, and like I will definitely be, you know, still doing the work and trying to help you out with that situation as well, because this is the shits, if you will.
It's despicable. It really
And
is.
somebody needs to be held accountable for it. If not everyone involved in it, that didn't want to be involved in it, but is involved in it. If you catch what I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Michelle, on the lighter side of the news, I guess, or what have you, you had an event last month.
Yes, I did.
And could you tell us a little about that? We talked about it on the last show. I'm sorry for that coming. I had
listen, I still have
issue.
candy if you want.
Oh yeah, you know I'm fat, so.
Oh, you got candy? I'm down.
I have a little suitcase full of candy.
Oh.
I left with the big suitcase full of candy to bring over there, and I came back with the little one full.
Yeah, I was.
The kids, we had over, even though the weather was not at the best, we had over 20 children there.
Mm-hmm.
All of them autistic,
Awesome.
and not a single meltdown. It was amazing. We had cops and kids playing musical chairs and dancing. It was great. The
Cops
kids
are
had
actually
a wonderful
dancing?
time. Huh?
Were cops actually dancing? Do you have footage of this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I need
yes,
some
I
of
do.
that. I need some of that.
They were dancing to Baby Shark and musical chairs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Baby Shark!
And-
Every
the
kid
Baby Shark.
loves Baby Shark.
Like I said,
Every kid loves
my
Baby
favorite
Shark.
gang outside of Congress is the New York Police Department.
There you go.
I mean, well, you know, to each their own. But like I said, I know this is me. This is how I am. You know how I am for a long time. We know each other so.
Yeah.
But you know, he was joking around earlier about how, go tell. It was an incident. I was on my way to the show actually on 125th Street and Lenox Avenue, and you know how these kids get out of school and they want to congregate, they want to go home, they want to do it, they want to, you know, start stuff and, you know, do dumb stuff. I don't think I was ever that idiotic. I just went home because I wanted to watch cartoons. But anyway, like they were outside and something happened. And they were like, like I said, when there's a whole full of high school kids, regardless of who they are, what they are. Like, bullshit happens, whether it's their fault or not. So they were on the corner and they were talking and blah blah blah. Next thing I knew, then like police came out like it was fucking 9/11. Like, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And like, I'm not going to say what I was over there doing. I mean, I'm not going to.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Exactly. It wasn't anything sexual. It was more herbal. But anyway, so, but
Buying hair products, I see. Herbal essence, okay.
yeah. Well, cologne can buy for men. But anyway, like, I seen the kid throw like a bag of garbage, and after that, I was like, let me get the fuck out of here. Like, this is bullshit. But and that specific issue or incident, whatever the fuck have you, the police were not in the wrong because they didn't do anything, and they were just trying to, de-escalate the situation. And like I said, there would have been no situation if everybody just went the fuck home. Like, this other lady and me, we're walking.
It's too cold to be standing around outside.
Exactly. I broke out the long coat, and I don't like, all that stuff on me, but okay, I'd rather be warm than sick. But my thing is this: me and this lady are trying to tell these kids, yo, go the fuck home, and you're just staying there. Oh, they arrested my friend. I was like, you want to go join them? It's Friday, and they'll find a way to keep you till Tuesday. Like, I'm good, like, I see police, I go the other way, even if it's a good day. Sure, like I joked around, I said I'd rather have the Nation of Islam protect me than the NYPD. And they the ones that had something with Malcolm X to do. But anyway, that's another show for another time. But Michelle, I'm talking too much. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you already know. I was asking you which precinct it was.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was a 2-8 because aren't they around there? The 28th precinct is around 125th, somewhere around there.
You said the 28th?
Yeah. Isn't there? Aren't they around over there?
Listen, pop in, tell the commanding officer.
No, you tell them.
The lady said hi.
Shit. Next time in a police precinct, I'll be in a body bag. Fuck all that. Shit. Nah, I ain't going to no fucking police. I wouldn't even go to ask directions.
Stuff for my kids and families.
I give you that, but like I said, I'd rather call the Latin Kings than the NYPD if I had some problems. Shoot, like, like I have a couple of friends in there, and stuff like that. The Latin Kings, like the Bloods and the Crips, whatever, stuff like that. The Latin Kings that have real jobs and do things for the community. But anyway, but like, like I said, that's another situation that could have been avoided. And like I said, it's Friday. What are you doing outside in 39-degree weather?
Let's rewind back to the whole, it takes a village to raise a child.
Didn't Hillary Clinton say that?
Unfortunately, society has become...
Did Hillary say that?
Yeah.
Didn't Hillary Clinton say that?
It takes a whole village to raise a child. That's an old Southern term that's been out. That's an old term, American term.
Well, that's the biggest crock of shit I ever heard.
But it's true. But it does take a whole village to raise a child.
I remember when I was doing dumb stuff, my neighbor would come out and just yank me.
We're not going to get that
anymore.
Get checked.
You try to do that now, and you getting a whole bunch of parents jumping on you because it ain't your kid.
You're going to get ACS calls and everything. You can, like, people, like I said, people are getting too soft, man. Like, it's ridiculous.
You see, I'm different.
Offended by every little thing, and that's my problem with people.
I'm different. You see, if a neighbor yanks up my child, I'm going to find out what the hell my neighbor is yanking up the child for. And if I found out my child's doing something, you're
going to get a double ass whooping.
He's going to get an ass whooping.
Like like I said,
that's how I was raised.
There's no more mamas anymore. There's no more nanas. There's no more. That generation is pretty much gone because the grandmothers are like 25 now.
Shout out to Bernice Burgos. Shit.
Like that's the issue, and something got to give. I mean, it starts at the home, but schools can help out too. I mean, they got to communicate. Everything's 50-50,
That's right. And
like, I think it's more of like a greed thing with all these charter schools and all this other bullshit. It's about money now. It's about numbers. It's not about the kids anymore, and it's the biggest crock of shit ever. But it is what it is. Like like you and me and Jeffrey, we're not in positions of power. Well, not yet, and that the ones that are, they really don't give a shit. Like they either give someone enough to get reelected, or they don't care at all. And like I said, politics is pretty much like the mob, only with government jobs. In my opinion, but it is what it is.
Listen, when it comes to the school system, you already know what I had to do for my child. I had to sue Department of Education to get my child out of public school.
Sometimes you're gonna have to do that.
Now he's good, and let's see how public education does by my daughter.
I hope
I'm not ready to pull that trigger if I need to.
I know you are. You do anything for your kids. I know
they have rights, and their child has rights.
Mm-hmm. Everyone has rights, and like I said, the little ones, they're the most vulnerable, man. Like those need to be protected at most foremost first, and that's the issue that I have with a lot of these politicians, especially here in New York City. But it is what it is, and like I said, I told people I'm more than a comedian. I try to venture out and do stuff like that. I don't just tell fart jokes and pussy jokes, and your mom was.
Well, I know you well enough to know that.
Your mom was so fat that she jumped in the air, got stuck. That's an old one. But was that Jeffrey? You got any your mama jokes?
Damn.
Or Michelle?
I ain't got any mama jokes right now.
All right, I got another one. I said your mom was so tall when she did a backflip, she kicked Jesus in the lip. I said I did a horrible, the most horrible like stuff like that, and like maybe we could do like some kind of little benefit or something, raise money for autism or stuff. I'll do a show like that, some comedy, charity, but I want to make sure it's going to the right place. I'm not just going there for a photo op,
Believe me, I know.
Exactly.
Believe me, I know. Just like at Trunk or Treat, we had a representative from the mayor's office come.
Mm-hmm.
And, I probably should have devoted a little bit more time to having a conversation with him, but I was engaged with the kids. So
I mean, that was what it's for. I mean, props for him to coming through, but, even if he didn't, you still would have been paying more attention to the kids. So, but that's good that he actually showed up. I mean, maybe that's somebody you need to get in contact with about this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. So you have any events coming up now? Anything that good people should know about?
December 11th, I have a parent meeting. December 13th, I have another parent meeting. The one on the 11th is at City Tabernacle Seventh-day Adventist Church on 150th Street. The 13th is over at Kennedy Center. On the 11th, I have been blessed, and a training sergeant who does the training for school safety is coming in, and he put together something on bullying and autism for us.
Sweet.
And on the 13th, I have a senior special education attorney, Phyllis Brockstein, coming to speak with my parents about the legal, how to go about doing things and when to get an attorney.
You're always busy. That's what I always liked about you. You're always on your grind. I respect that, definitely, wholeheartedly. But Michelle, I want to thank you for coming on, and definitely keep in contact with me, keep in touch with me, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, like I said, if you're seeing this right now, and if you know anybody that was in that, if you have any issues, any concerns, stuff like that, please inbox me on Facebook, IG, or stuff like that, and we'll get some information going, because we need to get this story out in the public, and to make sure that these people who were not doing their job last night be held accountable.
Amen to that.
All right. Thank you, Michelle, and have a great weekend. I will talk to you soon.
Okay, you too.
All right, love.
We got another call.
Oh, we do?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Yes. Yeah. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. Aerosmith
Yo, what up? It's
Hector?
me, Devin.
Devin, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, I heard y'all was talking about mental health and that traffic shit.
Yeah, the lady Michelle Sanchez, she has a son that is autistic, and he was stuck out in that bus, and it was a hot mess. It was ridiculous. Yeah,
Well, I work for the Office of Mental Health, and hello.
You're still here.
We hear you.
I hear you, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, I hear all these rumors and shit going on about tests with mental patients and shit. That's false. That's false. That's bullshit. You know.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. They've done this in the past, especially this country, with a lot of illegal experiments, stuff like that. But I wouldn't
MK
know.
Ultra brainwashing. That's my favorite conspiracy.
The same shit they
Right.
do with the people that's the residents. It's with the workers too. But anyway, anyway, that traffic, yo.
Don't tell me you were out in that.
Hell yeah, I was on there. I work in Rockaway.
You was in Far Rockaway with that fucking
Yeah,
traffic?
I had to come down to the Palisades over to GW around like 4 or 5 o'clock, yo.
Damn.
You out there working then?
Yeah, man, I'm on my grind, man. But I miss y'all dudes and shit, and I'm like, yo, I gotta hit y'all. But I got a lot of shit to say about that though.
Oh, please speak on it.
Son,
I gave you. Yeah, please.
I
talk.
was on that joint around like what was it? Like maybe like 4 o'clock by the mobile gas station right on the Palisades Parkway coming across the GW. And this person in front of me had like I don't know, it was a Prius. It was a white Prius. And I guess he couldn't wait long. My man went to the left trying to switch, get onto the other side, but we got grass and divides the north and south.
Right.
Next thing you know, he gets stuck. And I'm like, damn. Now, I don't know if you know, but when you driving and it's an emergency, like a storm, rules, regulation, that shit is out the window.
I mean, pretty much.
Only thing applied is drive safe, intersection, let that person go, you go, he go, you go like that. And that's it. So I'm like, should I get out and help him? Nah, I'm good because I'm low on gas. Everybody is running out of gas. I guarantee you today, right now, everybody's trying to fill up.
Oh, yeah, especially going through all that crap. I mean, like, honestly, some people don't have they didn't really have much choice. They had to do what they had to do. But if you had to be out there, like I said, I told all my people, I said, you know what, stay the fuck home. Because shit like that gets crazy, and it got a lot worse. And a lot of people left their cars in the street. They're like, fuck it, because, either ran out of gas or they got pissed off.
Yeah, yo, but honestly, some people couldn't stay home, man, and some people had to get home. So they cut the bridge off. They closed that shit right behind me. Like, the squad cars came up behind me, but I was all lit up and shit. I was like, oh, shit. I got out the car. And I was like, what happened? I ain't gonna lie, I was hot shit. I was scared as shit. So anyway, I was like, what happened?
Right.
And he was like, we're closing the bridge. You gotta get off. I was like, nah, I ain't get off. He's like, then you just gonna have to wait. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have to wait. So this dude is still in the middle of the fucking grass, stalled with his Prius and shit. I'm like, yo, I ain't helping him because I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. You decided to go in the grass, fuck it.
Yeah, that's
so
on
we
him.
there for like maybe 2.5 hours. We start moving. I know because I finished the blunt. Next thing you know, we get to like to the turnaround part where you get on the bridge, right? And yo, I can't see shit. I see like 100 people leaving Manhattan in black and umbrellas, just like a blizzard and shit. I have no idea what's going on because radio stations is going in and out.
Right.
They probably don't say that, but radio stations was going in and out. I was like, I couldn't hear shit. Now I can hear it. I couldn't hear it. I got paranoid. Before you know it, I get to the Manhattan side finally within like maybe an hour and a half. They closed 178th Street. Oh, shit, we can't get Manhattan. Harlem River. I bet everybody trying to get on Harlem River. Boom, Harlem River ain't moving, but we trying. Another hour later. Next thing you know, I'm on 155th Street. I'm in Polo Grounds. Like I said, rules don't apply, right? It's a two-way street. It's now a one-way street. everybody going up the two-way. Fuck this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, y'all want to do that? That's a fire hydrant right there. I don't see no fire hydrant. I'm parking. Fuck that shit. I parked. I went home. I walked.
Well, I think in those like that and that type of shit, like that goes out the window. You know, that whole fire hydrant stuff. But
yeah.
I'm glad you're all right, and I'm glad you called in. I appreciate it. We need to definitely link up soon, and because probably when I come back, you know, from Florida, I'm supposed to be leaving on Tuesday. So
Yeah, I heard you was leaving. Damn, I'm like.
well, you know, I try to go and at least once a year to go see my mother and sister in Florida. So
Fort Lauderdale?
they're in the Orlando area. So you know, it's not too. Like I said, I was originally supposed to stay like 2 weeks, but some bullshit with the DMV and post office. So like now I have to wait till Tuesday. But I'm good now. But thank you for coming. Thank you for calling in, bro. Appreciate that.
Hey, anytime. Jeffrey, you good? What's up, man?
Chilling.
Look
What's
like
going
an
on?
inmate.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I did time, but not no time. I did holding time, but not no time. You look
I
like
think
you
we
did
all
time.
did. But like I said,
Shit, you black in New York, you did holding.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
just for walking out the street.
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
did holding for like marijuana, and yo, I did holding in the worst police precinct. I did holding on the same police precinct that killed Amadou Diallo over there in Southview.
Well, at least you get a plunger stuck up your ass.
No, nigga, you hilarious. Nah, man. When I went to the Soundview precinct, I saw some Terror Squad graffiti. I was like, oh,
well, that's where
shit.
they're from.
Yeah, exactly. The shit smelled like piss, and they're Terror Squad graffiti.
What do you expect? It's the fucking Southview. But Devin, definitely coming through, definitely calling, and we'll talk soon. All right, bro?
All right, hit me up, man.
All right, catch you later. We're going to take our final break, and we're going to talk a little bit more stuff, and we'll be right back. I thank you for listening. I thank you for joining. This is Aaron Smith Can't Lose on FLO, Empire
problem.
Network. We'll be right back. Rambling. Hector?
Your rain on the top is short like leprechauns as I crush all you whack MCs and rapper thugs. That was fresh. Yeah. You can catch me in the Mecca, looking so mean. Blue Yankee fitted while I'm chilling with my team. Madison Square on the sideline screaming. Coach put me in and I'm on, now I'm beasting. Hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Oh yeah. Yo, you can catch me on the front line, looking like a sergeant. BX, all the way to Jersey, will be marching. SB, Cool D, Mellow, bring the squad in. Call me Ray Moses with the flow that I be parting. Pardon me while I shoot for the art when a nigga draws. I'm Ray Charles, eye sharp when a nigga saw. Come on, dog, you can see a nigga paw. Feeling like fuck the world, my emotions too raw. My name rings bells, I'm kicking down your door. Think you super fly, I put you in disguise like a luchador. So international, my thoughts are on tour. Shorty loves the swag, gotta slurp it through the super straw. This shit was hot about a week ago. I'm AC mixed with Zach, you still screeching though. You can hate, you still peeping though. I be riding through my old hood, running now it's time to get it in. So yeah, I'ma do me. Heard they wanted me to win, so yeah, I'ma do me. Heard you thought that I was slacking, well it's time to do me. Shorty wants that satisfaction, well it's time to do me. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Yeah. Fly nigga catch me with a shorty. I'm from the Bronx when my nigga still poppin' 40. Puerto Rican call me Barty. Shorty called the dick fat is too gaudy. Yeah, this game I'm about to kick got me feeling like some salt that your bitch about to lick. Like some alcohol I'm about to lick in this bitch. Then I'm out to the store to cop me a soda and a chick gon' stick grinding. I bet them red lights make you stop. It's my time, boy. I've been ticking like a watch. I'ma push the pen. At the end, it's all about respect. I'm ahead of minds, how I'm standing on top of next. Wow. Pure bars if you rewind it. Said I'm ahead of minds, I guess I have to remind it. My bad, you had a declining. You wasn't all that, it's time to fall back. Now it's time to get it in, so yeah, I'ma do me. Heard they wanted me to win, so yeah, I'ma do me. Heard you thought that I was slacking, well it's time to do me. me. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Who else? The shit is poppin'. All you other rappers know your shit is flopping. Hollybugs, this shit is knocking. They sending shots, I'ma tumble with the blocking. I'm not the type to talk about I pump lead or this money. I'm trying to double up like bunk beds. I'm tired of living life broke, fuck that. This money I must stash like it's under the nose. Hold up. Ray getting funky on them. Let's rock Al Bundy on them, funny on them. I go bananas, I'm a monkey on them. I'm addicted to rap. Guess what? I'm a junkie on them. I'm causing riots when the rally starts. And one when I cross lines like tally marks. Ray Pearson, I ain't with the slacking. You can call this satisfaction. Now it's time to get it in, so yeah, I'ma do me. Heard they wanted me to win, so yeah, I'ma do me. Heard you thought that I was slacking, well it's time to do me. Shorty wants that satisfaction, well it's time to do me. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Put your hands in the air, I wanna see you keep 'em high. Ray Pearson, welcome.
We are back. I believe we have a caller. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Aaron?
Hector Louise, ladies and
Hector,
gentlemen.
what's going on?
The legendary Hector Louise, Laughing Matters, Eminem.
Yo, what is up with your station hold music, man?
Look, I don't have really control over that, so I'll talk to the engineer later.
Yo, now I know.
He's cool
now
as shit,
I know
though.
what the supermarket in hell plays.
Supermarket in hell.
I thought it played Kenny. I thought it played Kenny G.
No, what isn't that the same thing? Anyway,
Jesus
what's up,
Christ.
man? Sorry I couldn't make it in. I've been running around. I got some major freaking news that I want to actually bring out for the first time on your show, bro.
It's cool. Thanks for calling in. Let's talk about it. What's going on?
All right, cool. On that I do a podcast called Planet Comedy.
Yes, definitely. I was on that a month or so ago. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, and we can. You're definitely welcome to come on in, especially for this thing we're going to be doing. It's on govsradio.com. The reason why I say it is because on Saturday night, January 26th, we are going to be doing a 24-hour marathon podcast.
Awesome.
24 hours live. We're going to be doing it for this veterans charity called Boots on the Ground, which basically this is an organization where they help veterans with all kinds of problems. I'm talking about they provide transport for medical purposes. They help homeless families. Which, let me tell you, I don't agree with the rich man's war.
Yeah,
but I do believe in taking care of our own when they come back, because a lot of them are poor.
Right.
Let's forget about race. It's basically who has money and who don't.
Pretty much.
world.
You're right on that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, and who goes into the military are usually the poor that have fewer options.
Right.
Then they get hurt or whatever. Next thing you know, they come back and now they're homeless, or they can't even. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's a fine howdy do from the people that sent you into the fray to begin with. So this organization, they actually take care of homeless veterans' families, homeless veterans, sick veterans, you name it. They provide medical help with PTSD. And it's a really cool thing. We're doing a 24-hour, marathon to benefit them. It's kind of like a GoFundMe thing that we're running at the same time.
Nice. Awesome.
And we're really excited about it, man.
That sounds great. I mean, dude, if you need me, I'm there.
Oh no, well, that goes without saying, because now we have 24 hours worth of shit we have to fucking talk about. So I'm just I'm calling in all my friends.
I hear that. Like I said, I had Dave Stern on. Dave is awesome, and Hector, you're one of the rarities in this business that are actually, top notch. You know, like you got class. You know, so. You know, I fucks with you. You know, like I said, I've been watching you since I was little. I was little. I don't want to say how old you are, but you know, like I said, I've been watching you for a long time, especially you know what you're talking.
I've been watching you. You just said I've been watching you since I was a little kid. And that's fucked up because, I'm older than Sin, but you don't have to advertise it.
I didn't say the actual age, but like I said, I mean, like, well, I'm getting older too. I got the little white hairs in my beard, so it's all right. But, just a minute's the shit. So
what was it? I'm so old. When the Lord said, "Let there be light," I was 3 months behind in my bill.
Oh wow!
So you had the Air Jesus, not the Air Jordans.
The Air
Jesus.
Jesus.
There you go. Yeah,
AD 33s.
I got the Air sandals.
Right?
Air sandals. Oh shit!
Crazy. Oh man, they should market that shit. I think they will make a hell of money.
Yeah, well, the church is scam artists anyway. They might as well sell some goddamn Jesus Jordans or some shit.
Right?
Jesus Jordans. Could you imagine? Your game will be miraculous. I'm just
Right?
saying, the marketing sells.
Gatorade turns into wine,
Gatorade. Turn Gatorade into wine.
If you skip church on Sunday, put on your Air Jesus. You're doing good.
I hear that. So, Hector, we were talking about a couple of things. I know you don't live in the city, but you're still in the same kind of a little bit of the area. So how was it for you yesterday with that snowstorm stuff?
Oh, you see, that's the beauty of being an actor and comedian, where I was home.
Right.
I was home the entire day. I was putting in for castings. I did a self-tape audition. I was home. I was good. The only thing I had to cook for my wife. My wife actually, she got home okay too. We got hit with 4 inches of snow out here. I'm out in Long Island now.
Oh, you guys got
I am
lucky.
originally Brooklyn, born and bred.
Awesome. What part of Brooklyn?
But Williamsburg. But I was back in Williamsburg when it wasn't nothing to brag about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Williamsburg is like the second Manhattan right now. It's
pretty much.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. And I'll be honest with you, man. Once I saw that they took down the plexiglass in the Chinese kitchen, I said, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah, because
it's too safe.
It's too safe.
Like I said, if they got the crazy plexiglass and like with the little holes in it so you could talk to the person, that food's good. Cause they,
they're guarding it for something.
Right? You think? Like I said, the dirtier the Chinese restaurant, the better the food is.
It really is. It's so true. I mean, okay, fine. You might be eating somebody else's cat, but
fuck it. Meow,
when
delicious.
Properly, yeah.
Right.
Actually, the places. If I see a lot of plexiglass, it's just chicken wing and fries for me, man.
There you go. They can't mess that up. Jeffrey,
Yeah.
what's your favorite thing to eat for Chinese?
Chinese food. Let me think. I like General Tso's chicken and pork lo mein. I also like pork egg foo young.
General Tso's chicken is actually not a Chinese restaurant dish. It was an American dish made up by American people for Chinese restaurants.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true, and there's a great documentary about that.
I was like, there ain't no General Tso, but his chicken is fire. Oh well.
Yeah, they made that in California,
there
right?
was a General Tso. There was a General Tso.
Oh, there was.
There really was. Yeah. They named it after him, but the chicken has nothing to do with
him.
Region of China.
All right.
Yeah, that's an American
That's about
dish.
right.
Yeah, that's the thing about these Chinese restaurants. It's like Chinese American dishes because they don't only sell Chinese food. I like to get fried chicken with plantains.
I can make that at home, but all right.
Yeah, they got the plantains, right?
And mind you, you can't find depending upon what part of the country you go to, the Chinese kitchen there, they adapt to the local food.
Right.
Which is why in New York they have the fried plantains, and the Chinese people even call it totones.
Right.
Call it totones.
It's so
Yeah,
cool.
I know. I'm from Washington Heights, so obviously I know what that is. But the thing is that they know how to sell to people. They definitely know how to get their market.
And here's the thing: the Chinese be hiding the good food. Y'all need to go there and ask for some healthy shit, because they have us eating all the greasy shit. But you look what they eat at lunch. That shit they eat is healthy as hell.
Well, you're not supposed to have that all the time.
I realized something. I went to a Chinese restaurant in Chinatown with my friend Keith Jackson. Aaron, you got to meet Keith from
Yes, I
Laughing
remember.
Matters.
Mm-hmm.
That's a show that I do on public access TV on MNN Network that we had the pleasure of having Aaron on. In fact, your episode I think is airing soon.
Awesome. I get to see my silly self. But
his wife. I was gonna say his wife. She's Chinese. So
okay.
She took us to this little. It was we went. It wasn't even on a street. We had to go through this alley, and it was like if you would have walked past it, you wouldn't have seen it. You wouldn't have recognized it. You had to be looking for it. Mm-hmm. And it has pictures of dishes in the window. There's no sign of nothing. You go in there, and there's nothing but Chinese people sitting down eating.
Really?
And the food, nothing like in those Chinese kitchens, and that stuff was good. But the other Chinese folk were reacting to us eating there because you got to realize there was 2 Spanish people and 1 black guy with this Asian lady, and they were almost like bothered. You know, honestly, now I know what a black person felt like in a restaurant down south in the 50s.
Exactly.
Because that was exactly how they looked at me.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. But you know what? The food was good, and we were the only ones that tipped. That's another thing.
Oh, yeah, because nobody else tips.
I tip. I know, especially when I go out with my girlfriend, I tip pretty good. So, I mean, you know.
I've been to this ramen shop in Chinatown, and they seem to be very nice. And they also say, thank you for your patriotism. They're very nice, so I always tip them.
Oh, I love that. See, if I tip when they treat you good. You know, when the service is really good and the food is good. Then, because honestly, in this country, they really pay the waiters and waitresses like shit because they're relying on us to subsidize the rest of their salary. And mind you, in other parts of the world, that shit doesn't go down like that.
Obviously not. Well, it's America. You know, we gotta be all tough and hot and shit. You know, but I don't know. Like I said, you know, you treat people the way you wanted to be treated, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't do that. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said,
I
have like little patience for bullshit, you know, and I try to be as nice as I possibly can. A lot of people can say differently, you know, but you know, like I said, I know me, and people that have known me for years know how I am. Like I said, you know, I'm a straight out guy, and I just make sure everything is everything, and I don't have time for crap. Like I said, you know, within 5 seconds, I'm gonna know if you're full of shit or not. And it's going to depend on you for that other 5 seconds if I want to even walk off, continue to, you know, talk to you. Yeah, that's how I see it.
Right. You know, one time I was in a restaurant, and you know when you go into a restaurant, like you've been out all day, like the first thing you do is you go to the bathroom, use the bathroom, wash your hands before you eat. Mm-hmm. Well, I go into the bathroom, and I'm waiting to wash my hands, and I look in the mirror, and here's a guy in a waiter's uniform comes out of the stall and walks right out the door to go back to work. Did not even wash his hands.
Ew.
Yeah. I followed the guy, and my biggest fears were realized. He was my waiter.
Nah, I'm good. I ain't another guy. He gonna have to go and scrub them things real quick. Like, you know.
I went straight to the manager. I went straight to the manager. I'm like, listen, okay, before a situation happens at my table, let me explain something to you. I was just in the bathroom, and yada, yada, yada. Your guy came out the freaking stall, and let me tell you, he just did not wash his hands. I said, I don't want him anywhere.
Like, you don't want dick cheese in, like, your, like, food, you know? Like, that's nasty.
I mean, this guy
I wouldn't even want my own dick cheese in my fucking thing. I'm a nasty motherfucker.
When you think about it, no, there was less than a quarter of an inch of paper between his fingers and his dirty asshole. And now he's going to come up and serve you your food.
Right? Like, come on. Like, you work in food service, man. You know to wash your hands every time you use the toilet. Like, that's common sense. That's something you learned when you were 4 years old, 5 years old. Like,
yeah,
come on now.
That's just simple health because you don't want to spread illness and sickness. You don't want to do
exactly.
That, you know?
The little stuff always makes it and goes into being bigger. than it's supposed to be, especially when it comes to being sick. Like, it's all about washing your hands. And I don't care about that Purell. That shit is bullshit. It's pure alcohol. And realistically, if they didn't have that other stuff in there, probably burn your hands off. Get some real soap and water.
You know that theory that Purell is going to cause the next superbug. The next plague is going to be because
somebody
the
didn't wash their
bacteria builds up resistance, and we're helping it along.
I know. I mean, like, people are so worried about, who tweeted the wrong thing, or I'm offended at this meme, and they should need to be worried about personal hygiene, in my personal opinion.
Listen, put up all the dirty tweets you want. Wash your freaking hands when you take a crap. Okay,
exactly.
When you just use the bathroom in general, wash your freaking hands.
Like, and do it at least 2 or 3 times, for good measure.
Yeah, right.
The first time, like, especially if you take it, like I said, I'm gonna get a little too graphic, but we all been there when you've taken that mighty dump, and you have to like wash your hands maybe 2 or 3 times. Because the first time you gotta get the excess bullshit shit off, and then the second time you gotta make sure with a measure, and then the third time just in case. I mean, like I said,
you should wash your hands 5 times when you got diarrhea, because that shit's even worse.
Oh yeah, definitely, and you need to like go in the shower after you do that too.
Ugh.
Like mud butt is not fun at all.
Mud butt.
But
mud butt. You ever notice the conversations of the poor always end up in shit?
I mean, whether you're rich or poor, you shit anyway. So like, it depends on how good you shit, or what kind of is it? Is it 2-ply? Is it 3-ply? Shit like that. It's like that. Do you have that little like water that splashed up your ass? I personally don't think that's cool, but whatever.
1-ply paper is a lie. 1-ply toilet paper is a lie. Oh yeah, no. Did you hear? Trump is going to be going to California to visit the victims of the fire. So I wonder if he's going to throw them paper towels too.
Right.
I can't wait.
So they can catch on fire.
I mean, he would be stupid enough to do something. Personally,
you're going to throw something that catches on fire.
Personally, he needs to stay his stupid ass back in Washington, because they didn't even want him in Pittsburgh when that tragedy happened.
California is liberal as fuck. He's going to go to Cali? Shit.
He going to turn burgundy.
He feels safe because there's lots of white people over there. So that's basically the whole thing.
As long as he doesn't, unless he doesn't go to Cali, like, I mean, well, California is Mexico, so he better watch out.
Yeah, I know, man. That's the thing. Let me start. Honestly, it's. I used to feel sad about about what transpired, but it's like a situation where you got to grin and bear it. But I have to
a lot of
you,
times
though,
with that, definitely.
it is so funny. I have never, in our lifetimes, did you ever think that you were going to live to see a president be an embarrassment on the world stage where he gets laughed at the UN for his line of bullshit?
Yeah.
You know how funny that is?
I mean,
he's
hilarious.
The white supremacists, everything that the white supremacists were hoping that Obama would be, basically Trump is.
Yeah, basically, if he lived in Bizarro land, then Trump will definitely be our Obama. He's an exact complete opposite of Barack Obama.
Actually,
so
I gotta tell you, did you ever see the movie Idiocracy?
Oh yeah, that's Trump.
Terry Crews.
I've said that to all my friends. Yes,
would be better than
check
Trump.
out Idiocracy, Jeff. Definitely.
Okay.
Anybody that's watching Idiocracy is basically the prelude to a Trump presidency.
But I have to tell you one thing, though, and this is the very basic truth, man. First off, they have to get rid of the electoral Congress. They have to get rid of that shit. The
good luck with that.
College. Yeah, good
they
luck
have
with
to
that.
get rid of that shit. It's an outdated system, and it's only there for the 1% to get their boy in like they did this time. Because the
pretty
person
much.
that we voted for did not become president. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, and this is the second time in so many years that has happened. The last time that happened
Al Gore.
was Al Gore.
Yeah, he should have been
Al
president.
Gore and Bush Cheney.
Bush Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
This country would have been so much different if Al Gore became president.
It's really a shame. Now, I got to tell you, what we have to start doing as a nation is to get out of that fucking Facebook mentality with the fucking arguing politics on Facebook.
It's not going to
and on
get you
social
anywhere.
media.
It really
It
isn't.
does nothing, and all it does is divide people.
Exactly. It's
love
like
the good old days. You remember the good old days where everybody was talking shit before election day. Election day happened.
And
some
you never
people
heard of
were
it
happy,
anymore.
some people were sad, but you know what? The next day, we were all Americans. And this guy, okay, fine, this guy's a freaking buffoon, but you know what? He's our buffoon for the next couple of years. Then I seriously, let me tell you, he's got a snowball's chance in hell getting reelected. This
You
guy.
never
Unless
know.
They pull that fucking electoral college bullshit.
But like
again.
I said, you never know. Like I said, they elected in Bush Jr. twice. You never know.
Yeah.
And like I said, people
But that was bought and sold.
people are
That was
people are
bought and
ignorant and stupid enough to reelect Trump again. It can happen. As many people who have common sense would not like that to happen, me and Jeffrey included. But like I said, history is doomed to repeat itself if people don't
No,
do
you're
something.
absolutely right.
So
You're
like I
absolutely
said,
right.
it's a scare. That
I wanted to
should.
bring up one thing.
Mhm.
No, I wanted to bring up one thing to change topic a little bit. Something that angered me from yesterday's situation with the snow. I'm not sure if you guys touched on it, but I want to send out a big fuck you to Uber.
Oh, thank you.
For fucking price gouging during the fucking snow. I honestly say boycott fucking Uber. If you know of a hotel because a lot of hotels in the city price gouged also.
Of course.
If you know of a business or a hotel that price gouged, report them to the Better Business Bureau and boycott those motherfuckers.
Definitely. And if you need to share this video and share the information, and if you've been a victim of Uber or a hotel, definitely let us know. We're going to do it like that because honestly, I'm kind of with the cab guys on that. I mean, they're just coming out there with their cars and they think they're hot shit.
Yeah, I originally wanted to drive for Uber, but then when I got my because I'm a licensed taxi driver in New York City. A lot of people don't know that, right? So
Nice.
I tried.
Let me get your number. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, no, if I get a car, let me tell you something. I get a car, I'm gonna have driving services for comedians. Like you pay me a couple of dollars, I'll drive you through the city.
Yeah, that'll keep you paid, and you have to worry about bullshit and all like that.
Yeah.
But Hector, we're gonna have to get ready to wrap it up in a little bit. Is there any upcoming shows that you're gonna be at that the good people can come catch you at?
I actually, it would have made sense for me to have that information right in front of me.
It's
but
all
I will
right.
tell
It's
you-
okay, bro. But we know about the January 26th. We know about that.
What I'll say is this:
You need me,
we're gonna
I'm
be
there.
Doing the radio. We're going to be doing the marathon on govsradio.com on January 26th, 8 p.m. And we're going to turn on the mics then, and we're going to shut them off on January 27th at 8 p.m. And it's for Boots on the Ground, really worthwhile charity. And for all information, check out HectorLuis.com.
Awesome. Hector, my man, thank you very much for coming on. You, like I said, we're welcome anytime. And like I said, I smoke a lot, so you're going to have to remind me between now and the 26th to, be there. Definitely.
Yeah, well, I smoke a lot too, so I might wind up be hanging out with you and say on the 26th.
That's
"Yo,
fine.
am I
I know
do
we're gonna
something today?"
we're gonna definitely need something to keep us occupied during that 24-hour period.
Yeah, no, actually, if you can come down to fucking Governor's, because the studio is in Governor's Comedy Club in Long Island, out in Levittown.
Dude, if you
And,
need me, like I said, I'm there. Just remind me, like I said,
no, definitely. I am going to be sending out for certain comics to come on in to the studio, and you'll definitely be one of them.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, you're like I said, you're the man. So, and if you definitely need me for
Hey, give my regards
your
to
show,
brother, bro.
anytime. Like I
Give
said, I really try. But like I said, I had to take a step back because, like I said, I didn't want to go Latrell Sprewell on people. You remember that.
Yeah. But I was going to say, give my regards to your brother, man. I met him on the last show I did with you over at Broadway.
Oh,
and,
yes, he loves
yeah.
you. All right, Ryan. Big shout out to my brother Ryan. I want to thank everybody for coming on, and especially you, Hector. And we'll definitely talk soon. And have a great weekend,
Yeah.
bro.
Thanks, you too, and good holidays, man, and be happy and safe, and love each other while you got each other.
Likewise. Talk to you soon.
Man, peace.
All right. So we got to wrap it up. There's a few things I want to talk about. A couple of tragedies that occurred. I want to give condolences to Stan Lee's family, being as a comic fan and basically being in my childhood forever. This is a terrible loss for everybody, but he lived a long life. He was, 95, 96, I believe, when he passed away. And Marvel will definitely not be the same, especially I know the Marvel movies will not be the same.
Yeah, I tell you one thing, like, it's funny that the minute that he passed away, my damn 3-year-old niece's birthday, she finds my old comic book cards I've been saving since 1996. You remember those old baseball cards that have Marvel comic book characters on them? And I got some pretty good cards, so she took them out. Now I'm saving them. I'm thinking about selling those things online. What you think, Aaron?
Why? I mean, like, why not? I mean, it's up to you, but I would like hold them for a little bit, especially not now. They might not be as good as face value, but whatever you want to do with your stuff, definitely run with it. Also, condolences to Kim Porter's family, Diddy. They were out. They basically were together pretty much a very long time. She died of unfortunate circumstances, and she was very young. And from other people that known her and all stuff like that. She was a very sweetheart, and she was a very good lady and a good mother. And like I said, I want to give out my condolences to Kim Porter's family and Diddy. May she rest in peace.
All right. God bless.
All right. So we will be off next week. That is Thanksgiving week. And I will be back me and Jeff will be back December 7th. I'm going to Florida for a week, see with my family. So if I don't see you, I don't talk to you, everybody have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving or whatever capacity you want to do it to. Thank you once again for tuning in. Thank you for all the guests that are calling in. And this is Aaron Smith Can't Lose. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you and good night.
Take care.